This is Spotlight Omaha. Spotlight Omaha is a local podcast that highlights local businesses and influential movers and shakers in the Omaha business community. Spotlight Omaha is brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Now, from the Pyramid Contractor Studios, the host of Spotlight Omaha, Jimmy Allen.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm that specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your business online. If your company could benefit from any of that, check out pixelfiremarketing.com for more details today. Joining us inside the Pyramid Contractor Studios, Trent Larson with Window Hero. Trent, thanks for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
I'm excited to have this conversation with you. This is a new venture. It's a franchise that is coming to the Omaha area. Why was it the right time for you to start Window Hero and bring it to Omaha?
Well, so I spent about 40 years in the IT industry, and there's a lot of awesome things about IT. It's innovative and it's lucrative, but after 40 years, you can never get ahead of technology, and I know
Sure.
You're familiar with that game as well. And it's just at some point, you're just tired of being on that wheel spinning and trying to stay ahead of it. And I thought it'd be awesome to actually touch a customer and see results immediately, and have a service that our customers here in the market, the metro area, would actually enjoy. And so I went down this path, and I don't regret it.
What is Window Hero, and what are you guys doing?
We focus primarily on exterior cleaning, house washing, roof washing, window cleaning, pressure washing, garage, driveway cleaning. We do interior services as well, window cleaning inside and window tinting. But our main focus is when we leave your place, it's going to look shiny and better than when we got
Sure.
there. So that's our goal.
Kind of feels like the pressure washing industry has taken off to some degree. Why, in your opinion, do you think we've seen this? And how have you guys seen that kind of already in the few months you've been open?
It's interesting. I really thought getting into this that windows would be the best thing or the most lucrative thing.
It's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. And with all our high winds, dust blowing around, new construction, and it's still a great avenue for us. But it's interesting you brought up pressure washing. Most of our inquiries right now are on the pressure washing side, and it's a lot of oil on driveways.
Sure.
It's
A lot of salt right now, too.
You think about last summer where we had, half the city of Omaha was getting a new roof. You have construction trucks parking in your driveway, and they're leaving a lot of residue behind. We'll call it that, and it's been very lucrative, and I think that's a great avenue for us.
When we talk about roof cleaning, what all goes? I think that's probably a service that not many people have had. What all goes into that?
Well, so when you think about it, your roof is the most important part of your house. If your roof goes, it's just going to
keep the rain out.
Yeah, it's just going to crumble from the top down. So the things we look for are wear, mold, moss, stuff like that. That you typically get in higher humidity areas, but out here again, you get in some of the western suburbs of the metro. You got so much dirt and grime blowing around with all the new construction. So if your shingles aren't clean, you're going to have problems eventually. So,
and is that preventative from getting your roof replaced?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you have a clean roof, clean gutters, it's going to translate down to the siding on your house is going to be in good shape. Your landscaping is going to be in good shape. So,
sure,
that's where really our focus, top down. So,
gutter cleanings is something that's really popular this time of year. Obviously, you probably did it in the fall if you did it, and everything that's built up since it's been so cold. How many of those calls are you guys getting these days?
Right now it's not great because everyone did it in the fall, and
Sure.
There's not much blowing around anymore. Our trees are all bare right now,
Right.
And there's no pine needles or anything. But the gutter cleaning is really important when we get into the late summer, early fall, and we also do gutter guards.
Right.
So that way, we can clean them out once. You're not doing it twice a year, in spring and fall, or you're not doing it at least once a year fall. We can, keep those things clean for you. And that's, when you look at your siding of your house and your landscaping, there's nothing more important than clean gutters. So,
for anybody that may not know what a gutter guard is, it's kind of a newer invention. I believe they've only been around for about 8 years. What are gutter guards, and how are they preventing things from getting inside said gutters?
So, they snap on your gutter, and they cover the the width of your gutter. They actually slide a little bit underneath your lowest layer of shingles to provide that seal. And they have a mesh, so water will come in and go through its normal drain cycle. But big things like leaves, dead animals, tennis balls, anything else that would get up there and clog your downspout and cause the water to flow over the top of your gutter and getting into the side of your house and destroying your landscaping. It prevents that and gets all the debris to go over the top and the water to go through. So.
When people are, I guess, how often are you being asked to come out for multiple services in one call versus kind of an a la carte package? And do you guys offer both those options?
So that's really interesting because someone calls and says we want our roof clean. Well, we can't clean your roof if your gutters are full because we have a water and solution we're going to be spraying on your roof.
Sure.
And if your gutters are full, it's going to go over the top. Yeah. So what often happens is you don't know even all the services you need until we get out there and give a professional look around and see what you need. But it's just like windows. If you clean the exterior and the interior are dirty, they still look dirty. So you may think it's all on the outside and you only need exterior, but let's take a look and let's talk about it. So,
what is the most commonly asked question you guys are running into in these early stages?
Right now, a lot of it is on the safety side, and we're very proud of the fact that we're a soap solution, a soft wash.
It's like a safety for nature.
Yeah,
okay.
It's we don't want to ruin our hurt the landscaping. We do have some neutralizers on very susceptible plants, but we try to make sure that we're doing something that's going to make you proud and not we don't want to burn the village. So to
right?
speak,
Yeah. When we talk about taking this over as a franchise, why was the franchise? Because this is a topic that's coming up a lot in this room. Why was the franchise model the right approach for you?
Well, initially when I looked to get out of IT, I was looking at acquiring an existing business here in Omaha.
Sure.
And saw some really interesting concepts. Just never had the right fit. Either the seller wasn't really interested or I wasn't interested. And doing research, 90+% of franchises are successful.
Yeah.
10% of independent businesses are. And then I dug into the Window Hero concept, and Homefront Brands, which is the parent company, is just an amazing company. They have other, multiple franchises. They're all successful. And it just, you're just meeting from the CEO down, Jeff Duden, David Blue, all the way down, just an amazing bunch of people. And I thought, I want to be, this is a team I want to be part of. No one wants to get drafted by the last place team. They want to get drafted to the World Series champ. So
yeah, absolutely. When we talk about having that backbone of a franchise to ask questions, or what did you do in this situation? How did you grow your business? How much has that helped you guys at Window Hero of Omaha?
Oh, we would, I hate to say this, we would struggle. I mean, we might even fail without their support, especially in the startup. I mean, there's a lot of questions. You run into a unique situation. It's like, man, I've never seen this. They're there immediately. We've seen this. Here's how you tackle it. But the training, the national brand awareness. They have multiple franchises all over the country, and they're all successful. So, you got, the guys coming off the bench are A players. So,
your wife's got a little bit of success running a company or two. How much does it help to have somebody else that's also CEO level in the house to bounce things off of?
It's interesting. She's been there, done that. I've had a lot of background in that as well, and it's sometimes it's more just here's what I'm thinking, and tell me if I'm crazy. And just having someone to vet, the thoughts, the ideas, the concerns, and just get a different view, maybe one you haven't thought of, or confirm the one you thought of, so you have confidence moving forward. So yeah, it's been great having someone that knows what she's doing. So
we're catching up with Trent Larson of Window Hero of Omaha here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. I want to take a step back for a minute because you brought up the storms, and obviously that drove business in the construction world.
Yep.
Were you guys opened in October?
The business we formed in October. We went live in March, so we're just starting.
A few days,
yeah. So and a lot of that is just incorporating, getting to training, going through the process of getting your franchise up and running. Could have started a little earlier. I just didn't see February being a very good month to start.
Sure.
For outdoor
Yeah,
services.
especially with like the lack of snow too. Like,
Yeah.
it was just cold, not really anything to clean
It
up.
was just cold, and that's the thing. It gets below 40 degrees. It's very difficult when most of what you're doing is water based.
Sure.
You don't want to leave an ice castle. It's
Right.
so
Crack windows, things like that.
Exactly.
Sure. Obviously, when you're in a franchise mold, there's a blueprint of how to do things, how to be successful, et cetera, et cetera. How do you take something that's been built and you're taking over and put your fingerprints on it? How do you anticipate doing that?
Well, and that's what's great about Homefront. They do have a blueprint, and they have best practices, but every market is different.
Sure.
What you're solving for in Omaha is different than Scottsdale. It's different than Tallahassee.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, so you have leeway to do what is best. The main focus is focusing on excellence for the customer, so that when you're wearing that Window Hero shirt like I'm wearing today, they know that you represent excellence regardless what part of the country you're in. So
I
should have brought you.
I want to ask about the commercial side of things. Is
Yes.
that where you kind of see the most growth at?
There's a lot of opportunity for commercial in Omaha, and I want to be a big player in that. The reason for that, it gets so much traffic. It's going to have a lot more opportunity, for repeat.
Big buildings usually have more windows too.
Yes, and they do.
Yeah.
And so that's really where in the end game, I want to play. But our bread and butter is still the residential side. You have a graduation party, a Christmas party, a holiday party, whatever it is. You want your house to sparkle.
Yeah.
So we want to be in both markets, but yeah, definitely commercial is big for us.
We're seeing this explosion in growth in Omaha right now, whether it be Gretna or the Renaissance in Elkhorn.
Yep.
Ashland, which is just a few miles away,
Yep.
is seeing major growth too. Is that kind of the thought process? Is hey, there's more houses being built, more windows, more decks, more roofs to be washed off?
Yeah, we live in Bennington, and that 156th Street going up into the small, I don't want to call it a small town because it's getting bigger.
Not anymore.
You go, that 156th Street is booming, and I remember when I moved out here 30 years ago,
Cornfield.
Indian Creek was out in the middle of nowhere in Elkhorn, and now it's nothing but commercial all the way, from 108th all the way out to 204th. So yeah, that was absolutely why we chose Northwest Omaha as our location, because you have all kinds of commercial investment going on out there. You have all kinds of housing, multifamily, single family. It's booming, and I don't know if you look at a new house development, there is not a tree.
Yeah,
so you got
not.
good old Missouri River clay blowing against your windows all day long.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity for us to try to keep them clean for you.
Obviously, you guys are just a few days into this, so maybe the wrong time to ask this question, but I'll ask anyway. You mentioned Scottsdale and all over the country and much different climates. What have been some of the things that you maybe have heard on calls or seen maybe talked about that you're like, oh, we're probably not going to have to deal with that?
So the big one, so you get into Scottsdale and you got the tile roofs. We have very few of those here in Omaha. And then you get down in the deep south, you've got a lot of humidity. We may have Mississippi humidity here for 2 or 3 weeks out of the year, but we don't have it year round. And so they face mold and algae a lot more than we do. For us, it's going to be dirt.
Sure,
yeah. So there's a difference. And some franchises are high into house washing and roof washing, and others are in window cleaning. It just really depends on what your market needs.
Where do you guys anticipate the difference in like pie chart wise from inside cleaning versus outside cleaning? The bulk's got to be done on the outside, right?
Yeah, I would guess we're going to be in that 80-90% exterior. Again, windows are the unique thing because they're two-sided, so to look pretty, they have to be cleaned on both sides. But everything else is exterior, so I think that's where our focus and our meat and potatoes will be.
Sarah wants to know the areas that you guys are serving. On the website's listed Bennington, Elkhorn, Omaha, Valley, and Waterloo. Obviously, those are can be pretty. They can be changed and altered. Where's the furthest you guys are willing to go?
If you call me from Fremont,
sure,
we'll be there.
Okay.
It's really we have the benefit of we have a very set territory, but since there is no Window Hero within a radius of us, I think the nearest one's probably 500 miles away. We can be down in Bellevue. We can be we can be out in Gretna. You call us and we'll make it right.
Hours are set to 6 to 10 at 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm assuming you guys probably aren't out cleaning windows at that time. Those are probably just office hours, correct?
No, and I've had people come service me at my house, and if you show up at 6 a.m., you probably don't want to see the way I look at 6 a.m., so I get that. Those are actually our call center hours, so you can call between those hours and get information or updates on scheduling and billing and any of that kind of stuff. We're going to try to be respectful. Probably 8 to 7 or 8 at night this time of year, and
Sure. As long as the sun's up.
yeah, and then you get into the winter months, it's going to probably be 4 o'clock in the afternoon when we're done. So.
We talk a lot in this room about the hiring process and bringing people on. What has that process been like for you? Because it's really hard for a lot of people to put their name on their shirt and then go out and hand it off on a shirt to somebody else.
I hit a jackpot.
Oh, nice.
I really did. I have an excellent team. There are professionals in every sport industry. These guys watch YouTube videos on cleaning. I mean,
wow.
This is their passion, and they're just the best guys. They're hardworking. They want you to be happy. They live for this stuff. They're excited. They're chomping at the bit. So hiring for me thus far has been easy. Now, talk to me in 6 months.
Yeah, sure.
Hopefully, I don't have a different story.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they work out the
That's
way
growth,
they
right?
start. So yeah, it is. It's growth, and I expect I'm going to be hiring as we grow continuously. It's never going to end. So
we're catching up with Trent Larson of Window here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. I want to talk about you for a second. Career change, husband, 2 kids in college, building a brand, starting a franchise. How difficult is it for you about 5, 6 o'clock at night to put the phone down, step away from what you're building right now?
Oh, it's really difficult because right now you feel like every transaction is the transaction. I mean, It's just, you don't want, not that I don't trust our call center, because I do. I met those folks. They're great folks down there in the call center. But you just feel like you want to be in every transaction. And you do have to, at times, you have to focus on the right thing, because I didn't do this just to be,
for the fun of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I did this because, family. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Family is number one. That's what's most important.
And hopefully that's who's calling now. Was that the biggest reason for you? You talked about the rat race of the IT world. Name that's been there can attest that. But was being at home more, being available more to the family, a little bit of the reason why you did this as well?
Well, that's kind of a misnomer. When I got going in October, I spent a lot of time at home because you're doing a lot of legal stuff, paperwork.
You're building the plane before it flies.
Right. Yeah. You're building the blueprint. You're building you're framing the house, so to speak. But at this point, I'm out of the house, and I think that's a good thing because we spent 6 months together trying to work in the same house, and
you had to remind yourself you love your wife a lot, right?
And you realize that your internet connection isn't real great when you have 2 video conferences going on, and you're trying to not step all over each other, vocally, and so I think it's time, and I will be out in the field for most of the time. I mean, there's sitting behind the desk work that has to be done, and I'll do that. But
what do you want growth to look like over the next, not 3 to 6 months, but 2 to 3 years?
In 2 to 3 years, I want you to see a Window Hero truck driving around Omaha almost every day. I want you to see it. I want you to know the brand name, know we represent quality, know we represent excellence. I want to be all over Omaha. But for me, really, if you ask me right now, in 2 or 3 years, my goals won't change. Number one, I want our customers to be happy and look at us as the best in the business. And number 2, I want my team to be happy and make a living doing this. So that's just important to me.
If somebody out there does need windows washed, driveway power washed, roof cleaned, where can they find you at?
windowhero.com/location/Northwest Omaha. My phone number, call me directly, 402-350-4981, or you get late at night, you can call our call center at 402-697-5700.
How big of a deal is it for you to be able to do business in your backyard?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, that's really what I got into this for, is I want to see the results. I want to see happy faces. I want to see shiny houses. I mean, there's a lot of things I could have got into that, could have provided that, but there's nothing more tangible than a couple hours on site and walking away, and that customer knows that their property, this is the biggest investment in their lives, outside of, their family and stuff. But as far as spending cash and outlay, this is the biggest investment, and we're taking care of it for you. We're treating your castle like it's our castle. So.
We've covered a lot here already about Window Hero. Is there anything about Window Hero that we haven't mentioned that people should know about?
Don't be, give us a call. We're ready. We're ready to go. Like I said, we're going to treat your house like it's our house, and we're going to make it a better place when we leave. And let's get going.
Plug the phone number one more time, or the call center. Where can they give a call center?
Call center 402-697-5700. And if you want to talk to me personally, feel free, 402-350-4981.
if you have a bunch of salt piling up in your driveway like I do, or maybe you didn't get to those gutters and they still need to be cleaned from the fall, get a hold of Trent and the team at Window Hero. Again, that's Trent Larson with Window Hero here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. We got a 2 for you today. Angela Cheney will be back at 1:30 interviewing another guest. Hopefully you can join us then. Thanks for joining us here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors.